Greetings again to my kings and queens. Hey, we had so much fun on this responsibility discipline that we didn't even get to the discipline. This was so good, so meaty. Oh my gosh, on the responsibility. I was just blown away myself. And as you could probably tell on the last episode that y'all saw, I was just trying to keep my thoughts together because I was just being so blessed and so fed by our youth, and we needed so much. So please check out part 2 real quick of responsibility. I know it's going to bless you. Be the change because you are the change for such a time as this. See you on the next one. Stay tuned. Previously on Level Up with Jay Miles.
Good.
And since we all of us are in school in our own way, or most of us are in school in our own way, I say responsibility when it comes to school is you may have to create a schedule. You may have to do certain things for you to do what you need to do, because there's, like she said, there's a why. There's a why they're making us learn this, whether you're not.
If you want your mind to be free,
level up, y'all.
to see the kingdom with me.
Where's it
It's
at?
inside of you, it's inside of me.
That's right.
So let go and let God be free. If you want to be free,
Be free.
then today's your opportunity to go up a level with me.
Come on, y'all.
My kings and queens.
Uppa Level. Come seek the kingdom and worship him.
Learn this, whether you're in advanced classes or regular classes, you are being technically forced, but not really forced to do the work. And there's a why, because even now, as I'm speaking, I learned this when I was little, how to talk, how to walk, how to do things as such. And school helps us with that. And I'm taking a college course, and this year, and when I tell you, I struggle because I have to stay up to 2 a.m. every single night to learn the work. But I'll have to do it, because if I don't, then I won't pass. And my sister Aubrey, she takes the time to know what we're learning about, to write down notes and everything. I just write the notes and don't know what we're talking about, which explains my grades. But if you take the time and you actually do the work, since I took on the responsibility to take a college course, it was not required. I decided to do that, so I have to do the work and stay on it and pass my test in order for the credit to be acknowledged. So for when it comes to school, you just have to take an extra step into that responsibility and do it if you want to be successful.
Bingo. I love it.
So while y'all are talking about all this with dance and volleyball in school, I think it's important to talk about the importance of responsibility for your own mental health, because while you're doing all of these things, your mental health can get damaged during all of it if you're not learning how to control it and learning how to either, for some of y'all, maybe praying, some of y'all maybe talking to someone who maybe have more educated in the subject that you're going through, and meditating, all these things, and just making sure that you know that what you're feeling can be balanced amongst the things that you are going through in life. And I think that's also a huge responsibility that I have to take on, because with being an older sibling too, I understand exactly how you feel. And it's it's a good role because it builds you as a person, but it's also you have to take the time to be responsible for you, because you come into this life by yourself with you. I mean, obviously with other people who love you, of course, but it's you live this life for you and who you want to become. So it's important to, pray, meditate, all these things to be responsible for your mental health. But yeah.
Yes. That's so good. Thank you for sharing that.
Also with what she was saying, there's certain things that you have to do. I believe that when you do take on responsibilities, and even though you have many responsibilities that you really don't have a choice of, your parents telling you to clean up your room, your parents telling you to do certain things. With me, sometimes I'm like, hey, I just don't want to do them. But I also have to think of, when you're doing these responsibilities, you have to understand that you are also growing as a person. Cleaning up your room, okay, it may seem like a hard task, but when you do it, you have to understand that it creates a habit.
Hey,
As you get older, you get your own house, you'll understand oh, I want my room to look like this. I want my home to look like this. And also, I feel like with that going on, it's just, you have to understand another person's perspective as well.
Sure. That's so good.
Yeah, it's all about the perspective. If you don't understand someone else's perspective, it's not going to make sense and it's going to feel like you're doing it for no reason.
Amen.
But when you do, it makes everything a lot easier and it makes it more understandable. So it won't feel like, oh, this is just happening because it just happens. No, it's all for a reason and it's all going to make you a better person. Because like with dance, like she was saying with the mental, with dance, I quit dance. It wasn't what I wanted to do. And I found that out later on, and it did feel like a waste of time, but I had to understand that at the end of the day, it made me a better person, and it made me the person that I am today, and it helped me understand, hey, maybe it's not all about me. Like, maybe I do need to stop and evaluate other people's feelings. And with that, it helped me evaluate me and my brother's feelings, because me and him have a better relationship now, and now I understand, like, maybe he's not the problem. Maybe I'm just not trying to understand.
Wow. Learned all that from dance. No, that's good. I love that. I love that.
When you're
We're still going.
responsible-
Yes, I love it. Keep going.
When you're responsible of something, like, you'll look on later down the line, like, I did all of this. I accomplished this. This is what I did all on my own. With the responsibility, you can see the vision of some things. Like, God has many things planned for you. You just have to reach out and go to him to get it. And that's why I feel like responsibility is a good thing, and also not a bad thing, but like you have to want to get it. You have to want to get it. You have to go out to get it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's good. Woo. Oh.
So when I was younger, which is last year, when I was last year, I used to fail because I wouldn't go home and do my homework at all. I would just go upstairs, play outside with my friends. And every single day I would see my sister at the table doing her homework. And this year, my sister, I'll walk in, my sister be like, do you have homework? And I'll be like, I'll just walk by and just ignore her. But I realized that I need to do my homework, because if I don't do my homework, then I will fail. And it's not her responsibility to tell me that. It's my responsibility. So I will be like, I should go to the table and do my homework by myself. I shouldn't have to ask. My sister shouldn't have to remind me. My mom shouldn't have to remind me. So, yeah.
That's so good. Thank you.
Everybody, please, especially this is blowing my mind right now. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah.
It's because to whom much is given, much is required.
Yeah.
But watch this, man. The youth, right? Y'all are blessing me so much. Because we did not rehearse this at all. Okay, let's make sure we understand that we didn't rehearse nothing at all. Okay, this is just them coming out with pure, organic answers of the Holy Spirit, man.
Yeah.
And I'm loving what everybody's saying so much, is because, again, it's so much negativity out here, right? But it's so refreshing to hear our youth with these mature, responsible answers, man.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also important to hear our adults to speak of this too, because it reminds us of, older people can do this, live in this generation, and also be great, learn from their mistakes and take responsibility for things, like, and older things, like a husband and wife, or a father or mother, like all these things. And it's good to hear y'all say that too.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, we definitely coming up. I'm just thankful and appreciating that. Wow, this is also helping to renew our minds too as
No,
adults.
for sure. Yeah.
Matt,
And I'd also
go ahead.
say, Jay, if you
Please,
don't mind,
please.
it still started with you all, right? Like, I once was in high school and in college, and hearing y'all say all these things, or at least understanding what it takes to be responsible, it's blessing us just to know, like, okay, y'all are getting it at an early age, because at our age, some people our age don't get it, right? They're still irresponsible.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, you guys are saying, like, yes, it's you and it's something that you have to take on, but you're still responsible for other people's lives, right, if you will, because you're impacting other people by the things that you do. It's never just going to be about you. The choices that you make and the decisions that you make is going to affect other people. So the fact that you are being so responsible in the things that y'all are talking about, I love the mental health. I love being team players in school and all of that stuff, because you're affecting people around you. So now that you not being told to have to do your homework all the time, you're giving your mother and your sister a peace of mind to where it's not a heavy burden on them to have to keep focusing on you. Now they can focus on other tasks that they need to be responsible in, right? So you're not hindering other people when you just kind of, like we say, if you stay in your lane and do what you have to do, that just makes everybody around you better. Because even biblically, like when it says like when your parents give you chores or whatever, biblically we have to honor your father and your mother, right? Honor those that look over you, mother, father, grandparent, whoever it is. So you are honoring them. So why am I doing this? Why am I cleaning the room? Why am I taking out the trash? Well, because we are called, we have the responsibility to honor our mother and our father, honor our parents. So above all things, like I think that's the main thing that I'm hearing from all y'all is y'all have an understanding of the why. Right? Even being responsible of taking a step back and taking care of your mental health. Like, okay, I'm doing way too much. I need to take a step back and just have some me time. That is being responsible, because if I come to y'all and I haven't had my me time, you're not going to get a happy Spencer, right? Y'all be like, yo, Spence, you good, man? Like, the vibe in here is off. So I love all these answers, and I love that y'all have such great understanding of how important responsibility is.
Man,
yes, Joy.
I feel like, you mentioned the why, and it kind of sparked something. Like, how usually parents will tell the kids to do something and kids will be like, why?
Right.
Like, I feel like nowadays the why is being explained, because it used to not be explained,
No, because I said so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually because I said so. But it's being explained because, now parents are starting to understand that this generation, they understand when you give them a why.
Oh, I love that. Please, whoever's watching this right now, what camera am I on? Is it this camera? All right, I got to get, parents, guardians, overseers, teachers, whoever is in a position of leadership of the youth, the next generation, anybody that's younger than you, it's okay to give an explanation. Like, gone are the days where we have to just be like, because I said so. Like, we get it. We're still gonna be responsible students, players to the coaches, and children to the parents, and they're gonna do it right because again, they're just gonna be obedient and honor you. But let's not give them opportunity to then soon have wrath and have disdain and have negative feelings towards you. Because like it's one thing to do it out of love, right? And then it's another thing to do it grudgingly or under compulsion, right? Like even again in the Bible, when the Bible tells us to give to the Lord, right? We are to give cheerfully, not grudgingly or under compulsion. Like we want to do things for you. Our kids want to do things for us cheerfully out of love. And it's like, if you give an explanation of understanding why I have to do this, it's like, okay, cool. That makes sense. Clean the house. Why do I need to clean the house? Well, this house has been pretty dirty and I have a lot going on in my situation right now where I have to pay bills. So I really need your help, and we can be teammates. We can work together and making sure that we get things done. Right? So now you're partnering with your family, you're partnering with your child, and they want to be a part of the team and they want you to lead, but help them understand why we do the things that we do and why they should do the things that they need to do to help the household, to be a part of the family and help the family grow. That's so big.
Because it makes it very understandable.
Yeah.
And nowadays, like, as us as teenagers, I'm pretty sure like we all just want to be heard. Like that's literally
Yes.
I've had many like tough conversations with my mom, also because like her being a single mom and me becoming like a teenager. I was going through like a hard time, and she didn't know. I'm her first child, her only child, and she didn't know how to raise me. So it's like, and she's very old school, very old school. So when it came down to me expressing myself and me wanting to be heard, nowadays I feel like you shouldn't have to like make your parents be like hear you. Like, I feel like it should be a natural thing, but not everybody does that. But the thing that I have to understand, it's like the only solution to that is an understanding. You have to have an understanding of anything. Like the fact of me leaving the dance team, I had to have an understanding that, okay, I'm leaving, it's gonna hurt because dance was my safe space. But like something, again, like I said earlier, something good comes out of it. Because when the same day I left the dance team, my friend was trying to get on the dance team. She got my spot. Like, you know, me cleaning up my room, it makes me a better person and it makes me more neat. Me understanding that, hey, you know, taking everything from dance, it helped me build my relationship and my bond with my big brother, who is very important to me. So I feel like an understanding is always needed. If there's no understanding, it's not it. I mean, it could possibly work, but in my situations, it never worked.
Yeah.
Our generation is very curious. So if you just say, go write this down, we're going to know, what are we writing down? Why is this needing to be wrote?
Yes.
You can't lead us without giving us a full understanding of what we're finna do. Like, I know our generation versus y'all generation is very different. We're more upspoken up front. Like, we're going to tell you, no, I'm not doing that. I don't like that. This isn't for me. I'm not going for it. Versus y'all generation where y'all just did what y'all parents told us. So it's like very different to have us versus y'all, and y'all just say do something and us not really understand what's the point of doing it. I'm the type of person, I'm gonna do it, but I'm also want to know, why am I doing this? Why am I writing down Y plus B? Why am I writing down A equals MC? Like, it's the understanding of it. I know that's not real math terms, but like, I was
I'm about to say, is that the new math out here, fam? I was like, is that the new math? I'm out of here for my daughter. Okay, good.
it's needing to understand, like, clear up the confusion of, why am I doing this? Not because, oh, you need to explain yourself to me. It's just of me needing clarity on it.
That's good. Thank you, Claire.
Real quick, I want to interject this as well. I'm loving it. Everything, Spence. Everyone is beautiful. Y'all are amazing. Here's the thing: as we grow older, and as we also mature in the things of God, right? Sometimes, and I just want to encourage you right here, you're not going to know the why right then and there.
Bingo.
I really want to implement that, because sometimes we really feel like if we're not getting the why, then it might not be real, or they don't know what they're talking about. But wisdom says this: even though it might not come when you want it to come, of that answer, you're still being tested to see how well you're responding in the place of where you're supposed to be at. What I mean by that is this: if you can take a direction sometimes and not have to know why, then guess what? That means that you have a teachable spirit. Even though you don't know the answer right then and there, can you trust the process that you're going to get the answer later on?
That's good. And can I add, because that's so good.
Yes,
Because
yes, sir.
the immediate answer on the why of that specific thing you may not get at all times, but there is a why, and that's why I always want to bring it to the biggest picture. There's a why we do anything that we do when it comes to being obedient to authority, right? Especially if it's something that being asked that isn't sinful or immoral, right? And then the why is like, man, listen, I'm just trying to be a good person, right? A good listener, someone that's obedient to whatever I've been asked to do, and it's not honoring that person.
Yeah.
It's always, for me at least, it's honoring God, right, in that task. So that's where the faith comes in, right? So your why is like, well, this don't make sense to me at this time, and I can't get an answer on why, maybe not right now, but I know my big umbrella, like the big picture of the why is I just want to honor God, because I know this is going to please him no matter what. And all things are going to work out for the good, right? You quitting the dance team still worked out for the good. So understanding the big picture why, even when you can't get the immediate, what's the word? Not micro why is very important. So there's always going to be a why that you can stand on that's going to keep you moving.
That's good.
And that's why, having a faith or having a belief in something is very, very pivotal in anyone's life, right? Whatever it is you believe in. Of course, we're here and we're believers in Jesus Christ and obedient to what God wants us to do. And when you have an understanding of that, whatever it is that's being told you at that time, you're just going to honor him, right? By being a good steward of anything that's been given to you at that time. Please. Okay, Divine.
So my mom, she used to always say, Divine, go do this, Divine, go do that, Divine, go do this, blah, 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 blah. And I used to think, I was always want to know why me? But then, a few weeks ago, she was like, the only reason I always call on you is because when I tell you go do something, you'll get up and do it. You wouldn't talk back, or you wouldn't be like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, and I always wanted to know why, and she never told me why. Now I know what the why. So yeah, I just
Yeah, it is good.
I feel like what y'all saying, like, that's real, honestly. But that also comes in with communication with your parents, honestly. I feel like as students we should have a bond with our parents or grandparents where like you understand me on a certain level and I understand you. Yeah, you might be curious to know why, but also keep in mind that like remember when she told me to do this for a reason and like it went through. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base on the communication part
Yeah.
because your parents aren't going to always understand you and you're not going to always understand your parents. But once you guys built that communication with like within each other and feel comfortable around each other talking about things like that, then like it'll go smooth from there. Yeah.
That's that. Yeah.
When it comes to communication with my family and my mom and everything, me personally, I still don't, I think it's getting better. Sorry. I think it's getting better, my communication with my mom. But when it came to last year, the beginning of this year, a few weeks ago, I don't think me and my mom were close at all. I didn't think she understood me. I felt unheard, very, very unheard. And I didn't have anyone to talk to because my dad he's in Oklahoma. He's gone. He's not in my life. And my aunt and my whole family we're split into different places. So it's just my mother and then the rest of my siblings. And I still don't have my mom to communicate with me in a certain way, but I have an advocate, which is my sister Aubrey. So, because she has great, like her and my mom, they communicate well, they talk well. So if I feel something, I know she's told me herself. I know if I have something I need to say to my mom, Arby can translate it to the point where my mom understands her. And if my mom says something I don't understand, I can text Arby, tell Arby, and she'll tell me what my mom means. So I've never had a real close like relationship with my mother. I think it'll get better as time goes on. But as of now it hasn't been good, especially nowadays. Now that school started, it just gotten worse. And I feel as time continues and with her as my advocate, I feel like if you guys can find something to help you communicate and get your point across,
You speaking of words, sis.
it'll your relationship will be way better than it is.
I love that word advocate.
Also, me and my mom were struggling with like communication. Like I said earlier, it was very bad. I wouldn't talk, like we wouldn't talk really. I would stay in my room all the time. If I had something to say, I would like text it to her. It was bad, but I had to understand that it won't get better unless we actually have a conversation. And the only way we can have that conversation without yelling at each other or going at each other's throats is sitting down and having a one-on-one conversation, actually talking about it and explaining to her like, hey mom, like I feel this and this. I would like you to do this and this. If not, that's fine, but want to voice that to you to see your opinion. And it's a good way for both of you to understand each other's perspectives, because as you get older, parents start to, I don't know how to say, they get scared. Parents are very scared. And I feel like when parents get scared, they're not scared of you making the wrong decisions. They're scared of them messing up as a parent.
Wow.
They're scared of failing you as a parent.
Wow.
And like your job isn't to make anything hard on them or make them feel like they're not doing enough. Your job is to be their child.
Yeah.
Be there, but it all comes with love.
Mm-hmm.
It all comes with love. And if you both love each other that much, if your parent has that much love for you, has a whole lot of it, then y'all can sit down and have a genuine conversation. You can help them understand, because parents are not just going to understand you right off bat.
Facts.
Like, when parents have kids, they think like, oh, this child is going to be this, and this. But then as you get older, you start to change. And when you change, it confuses them. They don't know what to do. So it's up to you to kind of, hey mom, like this is going on. This is how I feel. Let them know what's going on, because I did that with my mom, and we've been really good.
Good.
Like, I know that now I can go to her and I could talk to her about a lot. If I want to hang out, I'll be like, hey, let's have a movie night. You get to have moments like that when you have that type of connection with your parent. And the thing is that, like Nikiana was saying earlier, it all comes down to communication. You have to communicate with your parent, because if you don't, then they're not gonna know. They're gonna be stuck in the dark. They're not gonna be able to help you when you need help. I mean, like, if not, it's not gonna work at all.
Nice.
Woo. Man, you know what? We're gonna have to save the discipline part. Strength. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Yeah.
This is whoa.
This is good.
This was amazing.
Yeah, this was full.
I feel like I was able to really just eat today, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm always ready to deposit, but man, I really feel like I got a lot of
Yeah, it was loaded.
man.
loaded.
And you know what? Again, one of our themes in this season, Spencer, is Matthew 18:3.
Okay.
Where it says that unless ye be converted as little children,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Right. Right.
And so what I love about it is the fact that the youth right now are even helping to impart in the older
Absolutely. So
adult
much wisdom.
us today.
Yeah.
Like, man, because sometimes I love what one of the young ladies said, hey, y'all might not, y'all fear is not, them, but it's us disappointing them.
The fear of failure.
Fear of
as a
failure.
parent.
So like, again, y'all are helping us to understand as well.
Yeah.
Communication is key.
Right.
We have to continue to keep doing these things to help build y'all up, but not also build y'all up, but build ourselves up too.
Right. Right. Right.
Until
That's so
next
good.
time, Spencer, thank y'all again. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah.
We will be back again for the discipline in one of our episodes. But until next time, be the change, because you are the change for such a time as this. Until next time, what we going to do, y'all? Level up.
Trying to be free. Level up, y'all.
Take us on, DJ, y'all.
With me. Where's it at?
Inside of you, it's inside of me.
That's right.
So let go and let God be free. If you want to be free,
Be free.
then today's your opportunity to go up.
All right, so if you're a night owl, you'll probably understand this story. So I'm a night owl. I will stay up all night long, knowing I have like 5 alarms set for the next day. Like 5:05, 5:15, 5:20, that kind of stuff. Anyway, so in the morning when it's time for me to get up, I'm a snoozer. I will snooze that thing, so I can't snooze no more. All right. So yesterday, I was listening to a YouTube channel called Uppa Level. And on one of the episodes, a young lady said, don't snooze your alarm, because in that moment, you're failing your future self. She may have said it a little differently. That's my takeaway. So this morning when I woke up, I snoozed it twice. And I was so mad at myself because I felt like my future self would be so disappointed. I care about people, and I do take in feedback from people. But my future self, listen, I do not want to disappoint her. So I said all this to say, listen, today and thereafter, I am committed to no longer be a snoozer because I was convicted.
Next on Level Up with Jay Miles.
Separate, realize that we are children of God. So our identity is with Christ. And the Bible says, be not of the world. And so like we have to recognize our identity is first with Christ. And then that will relay into our, when you brought up the obstacle things, I thought about God is a purposeful God. So even our obstacles have purpose for us to get to a certain destination. And then that helps us, grow into another purpose for whatever God has it for our destiny.